Hello and welcome back to Examiner.com Games. My name is Steve. Sitting beside me once more is Alex. And today we're going to talk about a very important topic, gamer entitlement. That's right, it's something we all have. Something I have, something you have, something all of you at home have. And we don't need to be violent or crazy about it, especially in the comment section. But today I think the first topic we'd like to talk about is how gaming entitlement or gamer entitlement works. When it comes to demanding merchandise that we want, whether it's more men's clothing options, more women's clothing options, more things of that nature, and swag and all that, and free stuff. We love that.
So my background, I come from the merchandise side of gaming, and one of the things that I always struggled with, and it's hard, is you're always trying to run a business. And when you're running a business, it's difficult because you want to make everyone happy all the time, and you can't. For example, I love women's merch. Unfortunately, bottom line, women's merch doesn't sell as well as men's merch does. So there are always going to be more men's options than there are women's. It's not because the company is necessarily sexist or they're trying to leave anyone out, but they are trying to make money. And you can't just make 5 of something and hope for the best. You have to be able to, have your bottom line. And it's difficult because I know a lot of the ladies would get pretty ticked off when there was, triple the stuff for the men there was for the ladies. And that trend is changing, and that's great. But the change has to reflect also in the bottom line for the companies involved. And that's just something that we have to deal with until it really does change.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think that kind of extends as just with the type of games that publishers are making these days. It's to make a profit. And when we see gaming trends that we don't like, this is not only merchandise but also game software itself. When we see those things that we do not like, it's not because the game publishers hate us or they're trying to make you angry or they love seeing Reddit and Twitter all abuzz with whatever controversy is happening. It's because they legitimately, they're trying to run a business. Just like we who make these videos and write content and all that are also trying to do the same as well.
And it's not always a popular opinion. It's in this day and age of social media, it's so easy to go online and complain about everything, whether it's on a social page or a forum. And everyone wants to know that their voices are heard, and that's really important. But also, one person's voice in the grand scheme of things shouldn't be a make it or break it thing. You should put your opinion out there, hope that someone hears you, and it really does. People in the industry do take a look at those things and they listen, and that's pretty obvious. Like Mass Effect 3.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt, yeah. And people do listen, and you have the vocal minority that's out there, and that's a term that's thrown around quite a lot in games press, and they tend to be a lot louder than the people who are satisfied, the people who are happy with the product. And so, it's important no matter where you fall on that, whether you're the satisfied majority or the, unhappy minority or vice versa.
So what it comes down to is if you love a game or a product or something like that, let the company know. They would really appreciate it because they get a lot of negative responses to things, and knowing that they're doing something right and making someone happy will make someone's day.
Without a doubt. And another form of entitlement that exists within the industry right now is, and it has for a while, is games press entitlement. It's a very competitive space for all of us, and it's really difficult, to make a go of things and to get the access that you want, get the inside pieces and interviews that you want. And it's something that as a journalist, it can be hard sometimes not to become cynical with the system and how things work, but from a press side, it's important to echo a demeanor of understanding and patience, because when that isn't echoed, and it's vice versa, where it's impatient and it's frustrated and it's cynical, and that will come through in writing and in videos, and you're just persona altogether, and that filters down into gamers, because a lot of gamers look up to games press as kind of setting the standard for behavior and just gaming trends and things like that. So for games press, it's extremely important to remember that it's not just your profession, and you're not just serving the public good, but you're also representing gamers out there, and not just yourself.
Yeah, and I think the last thing that we wanted to talk about was respecting the vision of the developers. I think that it's so easy to to get in the forums and complain about not liking the ending of a game, not liking the play style, like anything,
or the length.
Yeah, or
the length of the game.
Too many side missions, things like that. But you have to, if this is a game that you love, pay attention to the fact that the developers created this wanting you to love it, and give them a little bit of respect because they spend a lot of time and a lot of energy trying to build something that they hope that you will love. And when it doesn't necessarily turn out the way that you particularly want it to, that it's heartbreaking for them as well.
Right.
And screaming at them is not necessarily the best way to go about.
Without a doubt.
Calling for
without
change.
a doubt. And when a game sells 8 million copies, it's really impossible. It is impossible for a game developer to really put out a product that pleases all 8 million of them.
Can't make everybody happy
without
all
a
the
doubt.
time.
Like Star Wars Battlefront, that's a game that didn't have single player campaign or story or what have you. And that was the developer's choice. They, at the time when they, were concepting the game and it was early development, they went with, what they thought was best, what was going to be the best for their business and making a profit. Which I understand, like for gamers, we don't care about making like whether a game makes a profit necessarily. We're just,
but the
concerned.
studios do.
Right, exactly. And in order for those games to continue to be made, profits must be made and we can either exist in this time where we're all very frustrated and combative and we oppose each other, we being gamers versus publishers, or we can, try to be more understanding, more patient. And that's not to say it excuses, some of the games that are broken and that are released, because those are things that we don't need, of course.
There are always bad games. But I think, like, bigger picture, what it all comes down to is there's a whole industry built around bringing this subculture entertainment and to provide them with something that they love and have a little bit more respect for that.
Without a doubt, and if you want other people to respect, the gaming industry, people who don't necessarily know games, maybe they don't even like it. If, we can't respect it as ourselves, if we gamers cannot respect the industry enough, to be patient, to be understanding, even critical, that's fine. If we can't do that on our own, how do we expect others who are on the outside looking in, to respect our industry and to, continue to accept it more and more?
It is possible to be critical and respectful at the same time.
Without a doubt. But yeah, I think that's all we've got for you today. Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us today, and for more on the video game industry, keep it here.